The key factors of predicting performance are basically two things, is can they do the job and will they do the job? The can-do piece is basically made up of two key components, is the person's inherent potential as well as their trainable skills. So when we look at inherent potential, we're looking at can they do this naturally? So if we took a salesperson, for example, are they a natural salesperson? Do they have the natural sales DNA, as I would like to put it? Can they prospect and close? Are they coachable? Do they have any call reluctance? However, sometimes you get people who have the natural born sales DNA, but they were also trained to do the job. So they have the natural trained skills. And sometimes you get people who don't have the sales DNA, but they have the natural trained skills. So again, those two key critical ingredients are what we call the can-do component. Now the other component is called the will-do, and the will-do is made up of two key pieces. The first one is attitude. What we know about top performing people is they have a positive attitude. They see that there's an opportunity for everything. They look at everything in life as a positive. And the other key component there as well is do they work hard? And so that's what we call the effort piece. Now both of these pieces can be picked up more perhaps in a structured interview where you look at, behavioral based questions where what they did in the past, will it predict what they'll do in the future? Retention is all about fit, and it's all about, whether they fit the career and they fit the job. And it's also about fitting your work environment. I mean, the number one reason why people leave organizations is fit to the manager and fit to the culture. So fit is a critical component of retention. And so when you're looking at a candidate, first think about fit to the career, and secondly, think about fit to the job. And then a third, you want to think about fit to the environment and you, and be selfish. Because the first thing you need to look at is think about what are you like as a manager, what's your style like, and is that going to gel with you? And if it's not, it's probably likely not going to work. What can happen is that you end up doing somebody else a disservice. I mean, and also it's going to be a drain on you as a manager. I mean, because you're going to be working with this person every day and just something's not clicking. And it could be they just don't fit the job, or it could be they just don't fit you in general. And so what we always say is, it's okay to let people be successful somewhere else, because maybe it's just not a good fit for you. Time and time again, we might even see where people can do the job and they will do the job, but they just don't fit with you. And then therefore, they don't stick around, or it's going to be a struggle between working with each other. So these are kind of things that you really need to think about when you think about fit, because if they're not going to be successful with you, then let them be successful somewhere else. Effective retention is actually something that's really quite leading edge in the industry today, where retention in the past typically was measured on roles, whereas what roles means is that somebody stays with us, somebody's left us. But where effective retention comes in is something that actually predicts both the top and the bottom line. Because what we're looking at in effective retention is we're looking at for people who are actually meeting your minimum production standards and also staying with you. So if they meet your minimum production standards, then they're considered to be retained. If they don't, then they're not considered to be retained. So that's really what effective retention is. It's making sure that we both predict performance and retention together. Companies have production standards, right? And those production standards need to be met. If they're not met, then we don't consider them to be retained on our books, because they're actually costing us money, they're not making us money. And so the key is that every year you have new production standards that you need to meet, and if you want to be considered to be retained in our company and meet our bonus structures, then you need to meet our standards in order to be considered to be retained. We call it show me the money.